can't you do, Jesus? Let's go! Somebody say, name above every other name. Oh, what can't you change? What can't you change? Jesus. Tonight we celebrate God. Come on, Jesus. Yes, you are.
are able. You are able. Creator of the universe. What can't you do? What can't you do? You are able. Good evening. Good evening, New Season Gospel FM family. I hope everyone is doing well. Thank you for joining me this evening on Faith Matters with me, Mnena. I hope you all had a wonderful start to the week, and you're just doing amazing. I hope that those of you who were able to get some rest today, being a holiday over here, were got the well needed and well deserved rest, and getting ready and just all pumped up for tomorrow, back to reality. So I hope everyone is doing well. I want to take the time just to say a warm welcome to those who have joined us on 89.1, our FM dial. Thank you all so much. For those who have joined in on newseasonfm.com, thank you for just coming on and spending this hour with me. And for those who are on YouTube, thank you so much. But of course, those who are in the room with me this evening on Facebook, thank you so much. Hi, Yessie, Mommy, good evening. Sister Crescent, it's so nice to have you on. Sister Laurel, thank you for coming on. So I just want to say thank you to all those who support us. We can't do this without your support, and I just want to take the time to just say thank you all so much for your support. It's because of your generosity that we're able to come on the air and to do what we do. We love the fact that we're able to come on here and share with you and just provide programming that hopefully is just really nurturing to you and your spiritual growth. We're a listener supported station, and it's because of you that we're able to do what we do, provide you with the 24/7 programming that we do. And so please, if you haven't supported, I'd like to encourage you to prayerfully consider being a supporter today. There's different ways that you can do so. You can do so through Cash App. The number for Cash App, or the information for Cash App, is the $ New Season WC. That's the $ New Season WC. You can also do so through Zelle. For Zelle, it's 954-536-1821. Again, that's 954-536-1821. You can also go straight to our website, newseasonfm.com. That's newseasonfm.com. There's a give/donate button right there. You click on it, and it just takes you straight to the page where you're able to give. It's so easy, 1, 2, 3, and you are there. And so if none of those work for you, say that's too hard, it's too complicated for me to do, you can definitely just mail us a check to 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida, 33351. Again, that's 4660 North University Drive, 4660 North University Drive, Lauderhill, Florida, 33351. Again, that's 33351. So once again, thank you so much. And for those who've been supporting, thank you. I know I speak for the entire team when I say that we are super, super grateful and just thankful for your blessing to us, to this station. So just running right along again, thank you. If you're just coming in, this is Faith Matters with me, Mnena. Faith Matters is a platform where we reflect on our daily Christian walk. Just how are we being Christ's hands and feet in everything that we do. We're not just, hopefully we're not just being the Sunday Christians where we just go to church on Sunday and then that's when we can act as Christians or talk as Christians or just be Christians in general. But this is like a 24/7 deal for us, because that's what it is. We should be Christians in every minute, every second of our lives, wherever we find ourselves. That's what we're called to do. So Faith Matters basically just reflects, and I do most of the reflecting and talking, but just about how it is, the challenges that we face in our faith, the challenges that I face in my faith, in my daily Christian walk, and just the reflections that I in life general, just how I'm battling or navigating my faith walk, and hopefully, those my reflections or my sharings strike a chord with you, or just serve as some sort of encouragement to you and to someone out there, and you feel free to share it, and just share your thoughts as well, and see how this journey is for you. The whole idea is to just be there for one another and hold each other's hands as we travel and walk this path. Hey, Joy, it's so nice to have you on. Thank you so much for staying up and coming on this evening with me in the room. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So moving right into it, you guys know I talk about the holidays, the weird holidays. Not a lot of them aren't weird though, but they're just holidays. Some that we don't know about, and a lot that we know about. So I'm going to move quickly. To those. Hey, Shamika, good morning. Thank you for joining us on YouTube. Good evening. I got you guys. I think you can understand that I'm kind of still in the holiday mode, because I just said good morning to someone right now, and it's almost 7:30 p.m. So please, I apologize. But good evening, Shamika. Thank you for coming on. So today's holiday is, well, obviously it's Labor Day. If you're here with us, it's Labor Day. And some of us got to rest. I know I got called out this morning not to forget that I had to come in today, even though it was a holiday. So I'm here this evening, even though it's a holiday. But I'm here because I love it. But it is Labor Day today. It's also Barbie Doll Day, Barbie Dolls Day. So for those of you girls who played with Barbie dolls in the past, or you still, I don't know, it's kind of weird if you have Barbie dolls right now. Well, some people have collections and all of that, so I don't know. But I don't have any more Barbie dolls, but it is Barbie Doll Day. I love this one. Fight Procrastination Day. Fight procrastination. I'm going to raise my hand on this one, because I procrastinate a lot, and I fight. I think it's a daily thing for me, just to fight procrastination. And so I love this one. I'm going to run with that for sure. This should be like an everyday thing, to fight procrastination, because I feel that that's another tool that the enemy uses to try and hinder us, or to try and stop us from fulfilling what God has placed upon our hearts to do. Yes, mommy, it is good morning over there in Nigeria, so good morning. Good morning. It's early hours, and so it's also Read a Book Day. I love this one. You guys know I love to read, so yeah, it was Read a Book Day, and I will say that I did get to read a book today, so even without knowing. So it was really good. I love that one. Definitely running with that one. It's Coffee Ice Cream Day. I love ice cream. I'm not too big on ice cream. Like, my flavors for ice cream are just vanilla, maybe chocolate, but vanilla for me any day, any time. So when you start going into all the other stuff, like the strawberries, the pistachios, the coffee, I know. So just give me plain vanilla, and you can mix it up with a little bit of chocolate, and I'm good. But coffee ice cream, for those of you who love coffee, so yeah, coffee ice cream flavor. I don't like it. It is also Stillbirth Remembrance Day. I think this is really important, to just bring awareness to stillbirth, and heart goes out to those who have gone through this heartbreaking event. Tuesday, tomorrow, is Another Look Unlimited Day. So this holiday, actually, Another Look Unlimited Day, is dedicated to taking a look around your home, and seeing the many things that you have that you don't need. And I'm speaking to myself as well. So many things that we have that we necessarily don't need, and to see how we can, just get rid of them. So instead of, just throwing them out in the trash, how can we help someone else? There might be someone else in need of something that we have in our homes and we're not using. So the day, Another Look Unlimited Day, is dedicated to that. So tomorrow, and I think, once in a while, or pretty much as often as we can, we need to take a look around our homes and see and in our closets, and see what we're not using, and see how we can be helpful, or how we can bless someone else with something like that. It's also Grandma Moses Day. I like this one. So Grandma Moses, at the age of 76, she became this amazing painter. So all through her life, like she never painted, never picked up a paintbrush before, wasn't an artist. But at the age of 76 years old, like 76 years old, she picked up a brush and decided to paint. She decided to paint. So after she could no longer properly, and she decided to do this because she had arthritis and she could no longer like sew and do those embroidery that she used to do. So she was like, you know what, I might as well just start painting. So she picked up a paintbrush and started painting. And she was self-taught. And she painted in a very primitive style, depicting things that she was familiar with, focusing on peaceful scenes, rural life, and all that stuff. So she began selling her paintings. This was something that was written about her. She began selling her paintings at $10 each, at a local drugstore. And she once said, and I think this was really profound, she said that painting's not important. The important thing is keeping busy. So today we celebrate her art, or that's tomorrow at least, we celebrate her art. And in the spirit of saying it's never too late to start something. It's never too late to be that, go after your passion or just try something new, because a lot of times we're fearful. We don't want to do anything new. We're like, oh, I'm too old for this. I don't want to learn a language. I don't want to pick up an instrument. I don't, but it's never too late. It's never too late to start something, because if at 76 years old she could start painting and be like this amazing painter, that would have her work, sold for millions and millions of, that's amazing. And she died at the age of, I believe, 101. So it's never too late. Now, if you don't get anything from tonight, just remember that it's never, ever, ever too late to start something. Don't be afraid to start something. So the next holiday that I have, okay, how many of us know, because in this year of times of technology that we're living in, I'm pretty sure if we don't have it on our phones, we have it at home, it's some sort of gadget where you can be like, okay, Google, what's my birthday? Or when's your birthday? Okay, Google, where can I find this? So Tuesday is Google Commemoration Day. It's Google Commemoration Day, which means it's Google's birthday on September 7th. It's Google's birthday, September 7th. So happy birthday, Google, on Tuesday. So we celebrate, Google. I can't even go into, talk about Google right now. There's so much that we do. We depend, a lot of us, there's so many things that we depend on Google for, and just the search machine just to find out stuff. So it's also National Grateful Patent Day. It's National Neither Rain nor Snow Day. It's Salami Day. So for those of you who like salami, it's Superhuman Day on Tuesday as well. Wednesday is International Literacy Day. It's also Actors Day. It's National Pledge of Allegiance Day on Wednesday. That's Wednesday the 8th. I'm hoping that we're pledging allegiance to God as we're pledging allegiance to the country, but I think our allegiance mostly and ultimately should be to God. Hi, Bobby Jasmine, thank you for coming on. It's also Star Trek Day. So for those of you who like Star Trek, I'm not that big of a fan of Star Trek. It's World Physical Therapy Day. On Thursday, I love this one. It's Care Bears Share Your Day. Care Bears Share Your Care Day. That's a mouthful, I know. But it's a day that's dedicated to loving and caring and just sharing with others. I think this should be an everyday thing, that we should care for one another. We should be our brother's keeper, like just constantly checking in and just being mindful of the other person and being kind. I talk about being kind all the time. There's nothing that beats being kind. We have to be kind to each other, to one another. Kindness goes a long way. I always quote Mother Teresa on kindness. Her one of my favorite quotes is like, goes, kind words can be short and easy to speak, but their echoes are truly endless. So sometimes it's just that kind word to someone to say, hey, how are you doing? Or you did great, or it's going to be okay. Just the way we say it goes a long way. So it's also on the same day we have Wonderful Weirdos Day, and when I saw this one, I immediately thought about yes, because she's a weirdo. So not, I mean, she's not a weirdo, but the way she says weirdo just really. Oh my gosh, yes, it's gonna kill me. But anyways, it's Wonderful Weirdos Day, so I think we can actually, yes, we can embrace this one because we're kind of weird in our own, little special way. So we're gonna embrace Wonderful Weirdos Day on Thursday. It's International Sudoku Day. It's Teddy Bear Day. Friday, rounding off our week, we have International Makeup Day. So it's not like literally the makeup that we put on as women, but it's a day where we remember and try to mend relationships. Like do you have a relative that you're falling out, that you're no longer in good terms with? Just trying to mend those relationships that have kind of broken up, or just really that are not where they need to be. Just really making that step and taking that step to repair those relationships. That's really important. It's also National 401k Day. It's also National Hot Dog Day. So for those of you who like hot dogs, it's National Swap Ideas Day. Yes, we should swap ideas on Friday when you get back. It's National Stand Up to Cancer Day. And it is also, rounding up the week, is World Suicide Prevention Day. So World Suicide Prevention Day on Friday. So those are my holidays. Definitely running with the procrastination one. Fight procrastination. This should be like an everyday thing. So I'm going to fight procrastination every single day. Also, I think I'm going to run with the kindness one. We have to be kind, just the Care Bears Day. And so those are my holidays for the week. I hope you'll be able to run with some of them that you don't find so weird. Some that you find weird, you'll be able to just laugh over them. If you're just joining in, this is Faith Matters with me, Mnena. It's a platform where I reflect and just talk about our daily Christian walk, or just pretty much whatever comes into my mind, or whatever I go through during the day or the entire week, and I just come on here and just reflect and share with you my take on stuff and my take on my faith walk, and hopefully it sheds light and it helps you on your faith walk as well. So welcome to the show this evening. So can we I'm going to be reflecting quite a bit. I think that every experience that I have, like I said, every step I take, everything that happens to me in my life, with my boys, in church, at work, anywhere at all, I try to look at everything through faith eyes, and I try to not put a spin on it, but yeah, maybe put a faith spin on it, and see what God is trying to show me in that circumstance, or in whatever situation I find myself, and however I react to it, or however I respond to that situation. I also sit back after the fact and just think about how my faith plays or played a role in how I handled the situation. And so quite a bit happened this week that I really thought about, or sat and reflected upon, regarding pertaining to faith. One that I would, just right off the top of my head, that I would really share really quickly is how being grateful. So many times we and I know we say this all the time, it's really important for us to express gratitude and to just be thankful for everything that we have, because so many times we tend to forget, and we tend to just be so selfish and so self-centered, and be caught up in our own feelings, be all up in our feelings about things that God hasn't worked out, or things that He hasn't provided, or we felt He hasn't provided for us, that we neglect to just really bask in the joy and in the many blessings that we are presently enjoying even in our circumstances, or in the so-called circumstances that we feel are not ideal, if that makes sense. And so I've always been conscious of that fact. I've always been conscious of the fact that I'm blessed. I'm truly blessed, that every day that he gives me is a blessing. Every day that he gives me is an opportunity for me to be his hands and feet, and I say that all the time. So it's never being it's never being a doubt, or there's never been a doubt, or there's never been that moment where I've forgotten or taken for granted his many blessings. But we're all human, and sometimes I tend to have those spoiled child syndrome, so to speak, where I am like, oh, you didn't give me this, God, and I start to whine, and I forget, but the Spirit pulls me back, and I catch myself and be like, wait a minute, I have to be thankful. So I had another moment this week. Well, actually, yeah, on Friday. Was it Friday or Saturday? This past weekend, I went out to get something, to get lunch, and right in front of the restaurant where I went to buy lunch was a garbage. It was this older gentleman standing at the garbage can. So I'm looking and I'm wondering, okay, what is he doing? In my mind, I sort of knew what was coming, but I think I was in denial that was exactly what was about to take place right in front of me. And he was digging in the garbage, and he dug in until he found a box of food that someone had eaten and thrown in the garbage, and he was trying to get something, the little that was left in there, and eat. And that broke my heart. Brought tears to my eyes, because here I am saying, oh my word, and I asked God for forgiveness right there and then. I was like, Lord God, please forgive me for the many, many times that I have just failed to be thankful and to just be grateful for your mercies and your blessings, because here I am going in to buy food, and right in front of me is somebody who is just happy to dig in the garbage and get the little that he can find and eat, and I was planning on going in there and getting him and buying food for the man, but thankfully too, the lady that was in front of me, this also tugged at her heart, and she said, "Oh my goodness, I hope he's still there by the time I get out, because I'm getting him food." But it was just a reminder, like right there, right in my face, to say, "Wow, God, I thank you." I thank you so much for all that you have done, and I'm so sorry, because many times, we're so caught up in ourselves that we don't see the blessings that we have, what He has blessed us with, and how much He has blessed us. There's so many people who don't have food to eat. That was a good example, and I started to think about the many times when I hate to throw food away, like and that's why sometimes I just take a little portion just so I can finish it. And for the many times, and that's what I tell my sons that too, because you have to finish your food. You're not going to throw it away. But there are times where, of course, when we can't finish it, and you can't save it because it's just, it's like a handful, and you throw it in the garbage. And you're like, wow, Lord, forgive me for the many times that I've wasted food. Something as, to me or to others, it might be insignificant. It's not much. But for someone else, that's life and death. So for me, that was an eye-opener, just a reminder of, how much God has blessed me, and how much I need, and how often, I need to constantly be thankful and be grateful for His mercies. For His mercies, for all that He has done. For all that He has done. I might be thinking, oh, I don't have this dress to wear, I don't have these shoes, or I don't want, but those are just things that really don't matter. Those are not needs. So what is it you're grateful to God for? To God for today? You may not have what you want. You may not be in the home that you want, in the mansion that you're hoping to, or you were, dreaming to be in, but you're not on the street. You have a roof over your head. You're not in the hospital. There's so many people who are sick right now, especially in this COVID times. People are dying. There are people in the hospitals. People are fighting for their lives. Loved ones have passed on. You have families who are mourning. I have a few friends who are in that category. And yet we don't take the time to just say, God, thank you. Thank you for what you've done for me. So I thought I'd share that with you tonight, because that really touched me, and it touched me really deeply, because you hear things like that. You hear about people, good evening, Sister Claudette. You hear about people who don't have, who are homeless, who dig from garbage just to eat. You hear, and sometimes you watch on TV or in movies, or you read in a book, but to actually see that happening, I mean, it hit me differently. To actually see that person, I mean, he was literally in front of me. So that was a wake-up call for me, just to be constantly thankful, to leave with a grateful heart, have an attitude of gratitude, thanking God for his blessings always. Thanking God for his blessings always. Because there's so many who are not as fortunate as we are. There's so many who are not as fortunate as we are. So I want to encourage you to just really just take the time. If you've been, that person who has constantly been, just looking to see where we're, just looking to see what God will do, or waiting to see, God open like this big thing for you, just take the time and take the moment to just thank God for the little miracles that you have, the amazing little the miracles. They might be the little, but they're not. That you're able to breathe, that you've got food on your table. You should be thankful for that. You should be thankful for that. That was one part of my reflection tonight. Also, throughout the past week, I've been getting readings, gospel readings that were focusing on the Pharisees, and I just kept thinking, about. And this question kept popping up in my mind, like, how many of us have the Pharisees syndrome? How many of us have the Pharisee syndrome? Because every gospel that that throughout the past week that was read, that I reflected upon, was talking about the part where the Pharisees were complaining that Jesus and his disciples were eating where they were not supposed to eat. The other was they were complaining that their hands were not washed, they didn't wash as they were supposed to wash. The others were complaining that they were not fasting. So there was always this complaint about what they were supposed to do and they were not doing. So how many of us have the Pharisee syndrome? We sit on our high holy horses and we judge. We're so concerned about the outside. We're so concerned about the rituals, about the motions, and we're neglecting and forgetting what really matters, what's truly important, what's on the inside. many times we're so guilty of just being so religious. Like we have to pray a certain way, we have to kneel, we have to have a certain posture, and if it's not that, then it's, they're not doing it the right way. So we get caught up. We get caught up in this whole game of being religious, that we forget about having that deep relationship, that connection, and what it really means to be Christian, what it really means to have that connection with God. It's so funny. I was sitting in church this past week, one of the weekday services, and I'm sitting there, and usually the way my posture for prayer and everything is my different. And so and then I noticed another woman that was sitting in a different pew, and I'm like, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be doing that. Why are you doing that? Why are you not doing it this way? Why should you not? And I caught myself. I was like, okay, there's the Pharisee syndrome, rearing its ugly head right there. Because our minds are so closed, our minds are so, we get caught up in the motions and the rituals and how things should be. And we fail to understand that, our relationship with God is more important. Our connection with God is more important. And how somebody else connects with God or how they pray it's not supposed to be the same as mine. And the fact that they're doing it differently from the way I'm doing it doesn't mean they're doing it wrong. So here I am thinking about or focusing more on what they're not doing or what I'm thinking they should be doing, and neglecting my own personal time, or that relationship, that intimate time that I should be having with the Lord. I'm totally distracted at this point, thinking about what this other person should be doing, and I'm not focusing on why I'm actually there. But I thank God for grace that I was able to pull myself back and snap out of it. So it's really important for us to realize, if we have these tendencies of being like the Pharisees, being judgy and just going with the rituals, just continuing to do because, this is how we've done it before, and if you don't do it this way, then it's not the right way. If you don't wash your hands, if you don't kneel down to pray, if you don't, and there's just so many different ways that we can come off as just being really judgy. So one particular scripture that really stands out to me is Jesus' encounter with the Pharisees again in Luke 6:6-11, and part of that says, the scribes and Pharisees watched him closely to see if he would cure on the Sabbath. So this is where it was a Sabbath. He went to the synagogue, and then there was this man who had a withered hand. So the scribes and the Pharisees watched closely to see if he would cure on the Sabbath, so they might discover a reason to accuse him. They were always looking for ways to accuse him. But he realized their intentions, and he said to the man with the withered hand, "Come up and stand before us." And he rose and stood there. Then Jesus said to them, "I ask you, is it lawful to do good on the Sabbath rather than to do evil, to save life rather than to destroy it?" Looking around at them, he then said to him, "Stretch out your hand." He did so, and his hand was restored. But they became enraged. The Pharisees became enraged and discussed together what they might do to Jesus. Like, they were so mad. They were caught up in their own, they were just stuck on their high horse. They were caught up in their whole religiosity, that they were not opening their eyes. They didn't allow their eyes or their hearts to be open to really see what Jesus was really teaching them and what Jesus was all about. So when Jesus speaks, he convinces those of goodwill who are present. Because when he asked the guy, the man with the withered hand to stand up, and he posed that question to them. So those of goodwill who were there, to me, that was just for them to really consider in their heart of hearts, to open up their hearts and say, okay, what is the right thing to do here? If you begin to listen with your heart, you would know what the right thing to do is. Jesus was compassionate. He was loving. So doing good regardless of what others think is something that we should all learn. To do good regardless of what others think. So he didn't care what the Pharisees thought. He knew what the right thing to do was, and he did it. So we need to take follow in that footstep, in his footsteps, and take a lead from there, and be able to stand up and do good, even when we're not the majority, even when when others are against it, or when others stand up against us. We should be able to stand and say, hey, this is the right thing to do, and we're going to do it. This is the right thing to do, and we're going to do it. So are you able to stand up for what is right? Are you able to stand up for what is right? Another scripture where he talks about being us being careful and being with the whole being religious is in Luke 20:46, where he says, beware of the scribes who like to walk around in long robes and love greetings in the marketplaces and the best seats in the synagogues and the places of honor at feasts, who devour widows' houses and for pretense make long prayers. They will receive the greater condemnation. So this is just for all of us to remember that when we're being judgy, when we're being, the holy rollers, when we're just on our high holy horses and looking down on others and thinking that we are, holier than thou, we're the ones who are doing it right. Just beware. Because we were, if we fall in line, or if we begin to do that, then we're falling in the category of the scribes and the Pharisees. So beware of the Pharisee syndrome. Beware of the Pharisee syndrome, because that's a great downfall. So before I leave tonight, I'd like to pose a few questions that one of my spiritual mentors shared with me. It was great reflection questions. And so it says, can we who see with our eyes still be blinded to God's graces? So it's going back to my initial reflection on being grateful. Can we who see with our eyes still be blinded to God's graces? We talk all the time, open the eyes of my heart, Lord, open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. But is it possible that those of us who see with our eyes, who have the gift of sight, can still be blinded to God's graces? That's something to think about. Because we're so caught up in ourselves and in our self-centeredness that we're not seeing the graces and the blessings that he has that are right in front of us. So also, can we who hear still be deaf to those crying for help? Can we who hear still be deaf to those crying for help? Our eyes, deaf to the cry of the poor? Our ears, are they deaf to the cry of the poor? Our ears deaf to that person who is crying for help, who needs direction, who's sinking and is crying out for help? Are our ears deaf to that? And also, can we who speak with our lips fail to communicate the love of God to others? Can we who speak with our lips fail to communicate the love of God to others? How can you communicate the love of God to others? Because sometimes we use our words, we use our lips, we use our words to tear down, we use our words to kill dreams, to push down. But can we, who speak with our lips, fail to communicate the love of God to others? That's what we're supposed to do. To communicate God's love to others. By the words we speak to others, the things we say. Ultimately by our actions. By how we carry ourselves. So those are questions that, we can ponder on and reflect on. Can we who see with our eyes still be blinded to God's graces? Can we who hear still be deaf to those crying for help? And can we who speak with our lips fail to communicate the love of God to others? And so before I leave tonight, I also want to just remind us, because I always say this at the start of the show, but I didn't today, that you have to remember to take stock of where you're at. This is September. We're in September now. Before you know it, the year is out. We only have 116 days left in this year. So where are you at? Where are you at? Are you able to sit and take stock to see where you started the year and where you're at right now? Especially in your faith walk. Can you sit down and say that I've grown? I'm at a higher level than I was when the year started. Are you able to check off those little accomplishments off of your list? Because remember, I always say that you can't wait for the gigantic goals to manifest before you say, yes, I did it, or check something off. You have to take those baby steps and those baby accomplishments. You have to glory in them. And be thankful for those as well. So take stock of where you're at this point in the year. Because you do not want the year to come to an end and you be like, what? What have I done? What have I achieved? I haven't done anything. You don't want that. So it's really important that we do that we take stock. And just check off, pat yourself on the back for the little accomplishments, those baby steps that you've taken so far. If you have, I'm hoping you have. Just be thankful for those. Because when you're able to check them off, it's a source of encouragement to you as well. Because you're able to look and see, oh my goodness, look at how far I've come. And so I wanted to just encourage you with that tonight. Take stock. Take stock of where you're at. And bask in the glory of the little accomplishments. Be grateful for every single day. Be grateful for every blessing that you have. Because there are so many others who are not as fortunate. So it doesn't matter what your circumstances are. It doesn't matter what's going on in your life right now. Just know that God is able. And He loves you. And He's able to turn things around for you. So on that note, I want to say thank you so much for coming on, for joining me this evening on this reflection with me on Faith Matters. I want to take the time to say thank you to those who came on newseasonfm.com, to those who are on YouTube. Shamika, thank you. For those who are listening on the FM dial 89.1, and of course, the family in the room on Facebook, thank you. Mommy Jasmine, Sister Claudette, Yessie, thank you. Sister Crescent, thank you. Laurel, thank you. I saw you somewhere there. Joy, thank you for coming on. Mommy, thank you. I appreciate you staying up so late. So thank you all so much for coming on. Don't forget to join Pastor Steve tomorrow for the Pastor Steve Show from 8 a.m. to 10. And of course, I'm happy to announce that Speak the Word with Reverend Crescent is back on tomorrow at 7:30. So please join Reverend Crescent tomorrow for Speak the Word. We're so happy that she is back. And the show will be on tomorrow at 7:30. So thank you all so much for coming on. Sister Laurel, good night. All have a wonderful night and a great rest of the week. So this, of course, I'm assuming this will kind of be like our anthem or my anthem for a little bit. So Turn It Around will take us out this evening. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you so much for coming on.
I know my God will turn it around. I have seen my God turn it around. There are so many times in my life that I have seen my God turn it around.
Battles in life. Are you thinking of quitting the race? There is no need to give up on your journey, because I know my God will turn it around.
Are you weighed down by battles in life? Are you thinking of quitting the race? There is no need to give up on your journey, because I know my God will turn it around.
I know
My God will turn it around.
I have seen.
I have seen my God turn it around. There are so many times in my life that I have seen my God turn it around.
I know.
My God will turn it around.
I have seen.
I have seen my God turn it around.
There are so many.
There are so many times in my life that I have seen my God turn it around.
Have you suffered from disappointment? Have some people turned their backs on you? Just keep holding on to the one who cannot disappoint. I know my God will turn it around.
Have you suffered from disappointments? Have some people turned their backs on you? Just keep holding on to the one who cannot disappoint. I know my God will turn it around. My God will turn it around.
I have seen.
I have seen my God turn it around.
There are so many.
So many times in my life that I have seen my God turn it around.
Really know about the long-term.
Did you read that thing on the internet about
There's a lot of talk about COVID-19 vaccines. Talk to your doctor